Well, COVID-19, just as it has dwindled many economies of the world, it's also not left Nigeria out of the picture. And here, focus is on Delta states, where a total of 1,824 cases have been recorded, with 49 deaths so far. More than that, the economy of the state has been said to be badly affected as the government scampers to find at least a short-term solution to cushion the effects of the outbreak on the Niger Delta state. Well, joining us now to discuss the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak on the Deltan economy and the current job drive by the state's governor is the chief economic advisor to the Delta state government, Kingsley Emu. Many thanks for joining us today on Newsday, Mr. Emu. And I understand that Governor Okowa has started a job creation drive in the state, of course, to tackle the effects of the pandemic, which has left many unemployed, not just in Delta, but all over the country. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, thank you and for having me here too, and it's always a pleasure. Oh yes, the employment drive of Delta State didn't just start today. We always said that His Excellency the Governor had a premonition. At the outset of this administration, he focused on policies and laws that a proper structural base to ensure that we create jobs for the people. Realizing the fact that, yes, even though we are a major oil producing economy, but they employ less than 20% or 30% of the entire populace. So it became imperative that we needed to put something in place. The first thing he did at the inaugural session on May 29th, 2015, was to announce the office of the Chief Job Creation Officer situated in his office. He went further to announce, same day, same document, the establishment of the Board of Technical and Vocational Education. And those two signaled the development and expansion structurally of job creation in the states. And job creation is a common thread that runs through all the entire SMART agenda. So clearly, the chief job, in his first tenure, the entire focus was clearly on prosperity for all Deltans. That prosperity didn't mean that you needed to have more money in your pocket if you already had so much. It's to lift the unemployed, the downtrodden, to a reasonable level. And that in instant will also relieve the dependency ratio on those who already existed. Straight to the issues. The Chief Job Creation Office ever since from inception to date as a direct intervention to train entrepreneurs has churned out in excess of 5,000 entrepreneurs, thriving entrepreneurs. And that is not just the beginning. When we started all of this, what we did was to profile the entire population. We had to reclassify them into youths, adults, trainable, untrainable, and decided to create products that will address every specific segment that were identified with complete peculiarities, and they were properly addressed. The Chief Job Creation Office decided to focus on youths between the ages of 18 to 35 and created products in skills training and entrepreneurship program, and also youth and agricultural entrepreneurship program.
All right, let me comment there a little bit, Kingsley.
To tackle the challenges at that level.
Let me comment there. Well, we talk about what COVID-19 all over the world has done to the economies of, world economies, companies, and of course the pockets of individuals. How bad has it been for Delta State, and what has the governor done, aside what you're talking about, job creation, to stem the tide of the economic downturn of Delta State?
Well, yes, the state has done quite a bit. And I start by saying that we have reintegrated most of the MDAs, like youth development has become a youth ministry, the women affairs. They're all beginning to refocus on rural youth skill development programs. The women empowerment skill program, the DESMA, Delta State Small and Medium Enterprises Fund Development, is also doing major interventions. What you have seen, what we have today, is that a lot of our agencies are clearly focused in regenerating the economy, creating empowerment for all the people. That's, like I said, we're a youthful population. And our youth must be significantly engaged, and we are beginning to engage them along those areas. We're not just training them. We have girl-child programs. We have youth empowerment, which they call RISA, Youth in Rural and Skill Acquisition Program. We have Women Empowerment Program. All of these are running concurrently and in different areas. They're focusing on the 25 local government areas. Key to that is also our intervention in the tertiary institutions. Apart from creating an entrepreneurship program in the secondary and the tertiary institution, the three polytechnics specifically, we are also beginning to empower 50 of all of those in all the three tertiary institutions, polytechnic per se, on an annual basis. And that is beginning to create, make them employable, as well as create entrepreneurs out of them. Because hitherto before now, a lot of them never had jobs, never even were employable. So they begin to get out of the polytechnics and the tertiary institutions and begin to find their spaces in the field. Now, let's even go to health. We pride ourselves on being a front runner in the health, contributory health insurance scheme. Well over 890,000 Deltans have come onto that platform. That means that you have proper support for your health sector. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. You can have all the monies and you're not healthy. And our capitation fee, our premium is pretty low as 7,000 naira. A lot of the families are out there on the platform. So we have moved from providing an enabling environment for bigger industries to strive. We have moved on to creating empowering individuals, both in direct intervention to artisans, market women, in terms of empowering them in their various areas of operation in the state, to also looking at the health sector. That has begun to be part of us. And you may recall that only recently we were classified as one of the states that has the highest unemployment rate, and that was a second quarter report. But that is in conflict with what the trend has been. We've been at 25.1% over the period, and we've been below unemployment rate in the state. Don't forget that NBS only recently said we're the second least poor state in the country. And if you look at the services sector, same data coming out from NBS, because everything must translate to GDP.
Okay.
If it's not reflected on the GDP, it's not working.
Mr. Emu, if
so
I may
our
come
GDP
in here.
is strong. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me come in here. Deltans living in the diaspora recently pledged to boost the local economy by increasing foreign direct investment into the states. They were speaking about venture capital firms investing in Nigeria and said, and I quote, that of the 38 Nigerian startups that received external funding of $747 million in 2019, none was based in Delta states. How can the state governments work with Deltans living in the diaspora that are interested in boosting the local economy to actually do this? What collaborative efforts are currently ongoing? Is there anything you can tell us in this regard?
Well, clearly, in terms of statistics, foreign direct investment, yes, maybe not, but for individual families and households, yes, significantly into their books. And those are not documented, as you know. Yes, only recently we had a session with them, and we have also empowered, the state government has empowered and supporting a team who are actually trying to formalize the entire process. We believe that we have bits and pieces of it here and there, but we need to formalize the structure. And the last press conference that we had was just the beginning of formalizing that entire process, and we're committed to it.
Interesting. So maybe you should tell us more of the short-term solutions. You've talked about job drive quite some. What are our short-term solutions is the Okowa government putting in place to encourage or lift the economy to another level?
Well, we have always had these short-term solutions, but it's been exacerbated recently, and not because of the COVID, not because of the NSAF. At the outset of this year, we had already retooled two key ministries, the Youth Development Ministry, to the Youth Development Directorate to a Youth Ministry. They are currently addressing the issues in the rural areas. Only recently, they had 3 representatives from the 270 wards in their first phase of training. That's 801 people. The Girl Child Empowerment had a similar program. All of them have been flagged off. We have established 9 technical colleges, 19 of them, but 9 under construction, all to promote technical and vocational education. We have 12 vocational skill centers scattered in the 10 federal constituencies. All of them are running at a subsidized rate to empower and promote technical and skill acquisition in all of these areas. And they are getting a lot of empowerment and support. We're not just doing a green training for people. We're also doing brown. For those of them who have walked into pre-qualified establishments, pre-qualified by National Directorate for Employment, which are 3 centers, we go to those locations independently, get the data, put them through some process, some training, 6 weeks training, proficiency test is done, and then we empower them. The whole idea is that if you have been there by yourself, without the support of any third party, we believe that you are committed enough. So it's a mixed approach. I tell you what, in the last 6 years or 5 years of our existence, His Excellency the Governor has committed well over 303 billion, quotes me, it's on records, on 449 road projects. And that translates to about 1,379 kilometers of roads. 60% of them have been done. That's a major expenditure that can rake up the economy, that can kickstart the economy. A lot of job creation. And you know what urban renewal means? Urban renewal means that the entire roads will be fixed, people will sell, people will eat, people will supply materials. That is actually energizing the economy. If it was not working, we would never have been described as the second least poor states in the country. And that's coming from same NBS. So we believe that with what we're doing, in fact, since post-COVID, he has quadrupled all the efforts. And this budget is a reflection of the kinds of provisions that he has made on this budget. And this has been year on year. Social investment program, security funds, and significant provision for all of these MDAs have also been part of what they're doing. And there's a lot of collaboration, medium to long term, with the private sector. We have our agro-industrial park, 8 billion naira agro-industrial park with private sector. It's currently under construction. And in another, hopefully 2 months, the governor will be there to commission it. We also have other private sectors like Noswadi, Inakuku, and Ela. These are major oil palm plantation. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley Emu, Chief Economic Advisor, Delta State, for joining us on Newsday today.